Ganagi, Wonders of an Unknown Land. Here I blur into you, my face stuck to the mirror that is the ground. The night sky is everywhere. This is the gift that brings my insomnia. The night is so pretty. My eyes are shining like the salt flats do. I turn over to face the sky, the stars blinking back at me. Slowly getting up. I need to get back to our home. The salt falls away between my toes as I walk. While looking up, the fast pace of it all passes by as I start to walk faster. The wind hits my face as I take it all in. Dazzling stars around my head. I grin. My home, my solitude. The barren, unprotected salt desert. It's all mine. I guess I'll have to try to sleep again, I sigh. The night is far more impressive than the day. More calm, too, I think to myself as I open the glass door to my home. While looking inside, it feels cold and dark. Okay, I need to do something instead of running around all night. Here we go. Dust of the sand stuck on your feet. Put on my ankle, light blue heated beads. Light the fire. One match broken. The second one lights up a sparkly flame, lighting the logs up with a bright white flame. I settle in front of the fire, curling up. My eyes focus on the flames, taking over the wood for a long time, till I settle into a light sleep. Something furry laying against me wakes me up. Not again! The clouds have broken into my home again. Once they know I'm awake, they scurry off into corners of my home. Their little legs are running fast, their puffy little cloud bodies moving along. Big eyes focused on escaping. I run around chasing them around my room. Ha! Got you! The one I caught is looking at me with big bright blue eyes, scared. No need to be scared of me, little one. I put the cloud down, giving it some water to drink. You can stay as long as you want, but I'll be off. I need to go look for treasure. I take off the heated beads from my ankles and get ready to leave. When opening the door, all the hiding clouds run outside. They're probably gonna look for more homes to break into, I say to myself, laughing. While the sun's coming up, I walk to the headquarters of the treasure crew. We've been collecting buried treasures from beneath the salt for ages. It's been passed down for many generations. Some say if you wear your birth crystal while hunting, you'll be luckier and find a lot of treasures. Of course, it could be an old wife still, but everyone still does it, just for certainty. After the short journey, I've arrived at the headquarters. The night crew had just returned with a batch of glowing Nazi crystals. Some of them glow at night, so they're easier to find at that time. Hey Amira, you're exactly on time as always. Good morning, Halwyn. Looking forward to some hunting? Halwyn sighed. Well, I'm going on the trip today, but you are not. The council called for you. For me? I shiver. I hope I've done nothing wrong, but it can't hurt to see what they have to say. After talking a little while with Halwyn, I made my way to the building of the council. It's a big building made out of sand and selenite. The crystal reflects the sun on my face. It burns my eyes. I hurry inside, not trying to be late. The lady at the desk looks up at me. You're Amira, aren't you? The council's waiting. Go through that door. Okay, thank you. I walk to a round door covered in swirling patterns. I take a deep breath, knock 2 times, and then open it. Inside, several people sit around a big round table. Some I recognize, others I don't. Hello all. Why have I been called in? The lady sitting at the other side of the table starts speaking. The council has heard remarkable tales of how you find treasure, and a lot of it. So we thought you could be a solution to our problem. The others around the table nod along. We want to send you on a mission to map out more of the land outside of our borders, since the treasure within ours is shrinking. I get shivers of excitement. It will be my honor to. So exciting to explore new territories and new adventures awaits. Then that is settled. Pack up your things. You'll leave at dawn tomorrow. The lady looks pleased with herself as she sends Amira away. The next morning, Amira locks her home safely away, saying goodbye for now to the little clouds running about. Let's expand my horizons. Let's leave this down, she says to herself, as she walks off into the dawn of light. I take a last look at my home, casting a last bright glance towards my house, my refuge of warmth and glass. In this late night, it's almost invisible, transparent and silent. In the early morning light, I knew I was leaving for real. I had dreamed of it so much, leaving this immobile immensity, leaving towards the movement, what we call mountains and valleys. It was said that they appeared one day when the gods below fought, until they distorted the surface of the earth above their heads. I imagined the ground distorted by the fight, while pulling out the wings that the council had entrusted to me. It was a great honor to be given the wings of the tribe. We only have one pair. They are fragile but reliable, a bit bulky but light. We had made the necessary adjustments the day before, so they would fit my shoulders and not touch the ground. I carefully closed the neck hooks for safety. With excitement, I pushed myself off the ground, into the air. Perched 10 meters above ground, I admire, amazed, the desert, spread out at my feet. A carpet of salt and dust. What an amazing view! I choose to go towards the brightest horizon. The first ray of sun hit my eyes. It's so beautiful. I close my eyelids to better appreciate the sensation of the fresh air against my skin. The invigorating cold pierces through my clothes. It envelops me. I open my eyes again after a few seconds, a few minutes, no one can say. Dizzy with pride and joy. No longer seeing any traces of the footsteps left by my large community underground. Finally flying outside our borders. In the immensity of the desert, only my shadow betrays traces of life and movement. Going gradually deeper into an unknown land, I fly higher and higher into the sky, in front of the sun, and until it is too high to show me any other direction than the stars. My head is empty. I don't count the meters I fly over, as my mission requires, just letting myself be carried by the wings. A strange noise pulls me out of my plenitude. It's like a little muffled, a screaming whisper. My eyes regain awareness of their surroundings and settle on the river. I knew it as soon as I saw it, this flow of water that I read about in books and stories. I land and run towards it. After a second hesitation, on its stirred banks, I sit down and dip my left foot in, naked and wet. What a sweet sensation. I've never seen so much water. It seems endless, passing, hurried. I grab my notebook that hangs on my hip, held by string. I take some notes for the mission at the end of the desert, towards the sun. River. I realize once again how lucky I am to have been chosen. How lucky I am to be here, with my foot in the water up to my ankle. A wave of adrenaline makes me jump on my legs. I fly away again, unable to resist the temptation to discover more. Then I see a big assortment of green and brown in the distance. The forest. The trees are looking big and majestic, imposing and lined up like an army. I approach them, and their smell embraces me, wet and warm. Once again, hesitating only for a second, I reach out and sink up to my elbows into the tops of the leaves. It's warm, smooth, the edges are a bit sharp. I walk down from branch to branch till I end up at a brick branch close to the trunk of the tree. I touch the bark, rough and hard, like the desert floor. I take notes of this in my notebook. Looking down from the branch, I see something that catches my attention. Soil! Something else than sand for a change. Quickly, I jump down from the tree to indulge myself in it. I feel it enveloping my back, my neck, my hair. It gets under my fingernails, in my ears. I laugh, and my laughter echoes, bouncing against the trees. I close my eyes. I could lie like this for hours on my back, wrapped in the smell of this wilderness. Maybe I did, lying like that for hours. Maybe I dozed off to the music of the wind in the leaves. But a deep voice with a threatening tone suddenly woke me up. I opened my eyes in surprise. I had noticed the bird song above my head before, but this latest sound was nothing like it. Who are you, and what are you doing here? No, that's not a bird, I think. Without answering, I straighten up, looking for the source of the voice. There is no need to be silent. I know you're here. This time I stand up completely. Still nothing. So I take my momentum and quickly hide behind the tree I landed on before. That's when I see her, in the shadow of a tree, in a hollow formed by two roots. I first notice her bright eyes. Her body merged with the earth, as if rooted by it. Her legs were covered, and her face, frozen with fear, looked almost grey. The most impressive thing was that she was covered with pins, sharp blades that started from her neck and went down to her chest. The sunlight that pierced the trees made them sparkle at times, beautiful and terrifying. I look at her, searching my memory to try to remember if I ever read anything similar. You seem to be afraid, I say, trying to start a conversation. I am not afraid. I am cautious. I know who is supposed to live in this forest, and you are a complete stranger to me, says Narek. I come from the salt desert. I have been entrusted with the mission of mapping its lands, which are unknown to our people until now. I see her shudder. The silence settled in the dark, moss-covered clearing. You seem to be blocked. What do you mean? But you can't move, locked in this tree. Why do you want to move? You seem to be at the mercy of danger, of predators, and the monstrosity of the world. What monstrosity are you talking about? I stumble confused. I've only seen wonders. This world sparkles, the water, the forest, the sun. Why deprive yourself of such beauty? Nadak looks confused and says, water can cover you until you drown. The forest and the dark will get you lost. The sun burns the skin until you consume. The beauty of things lasts only for a brief moment. It entertains you to better swift over you. It is better not to see it in order not to fall into its trap. I cannot imagine a life restricted by fear as you describe it. I am not afraid. I am cautious. Like you, I think that life is a gift that must be taken care of, she states. But what is the point of living if you don't enjoy it? In this case, you will live, but briefly, a few moments. Intensely, certainly, but you will disappear in the darkness before the sun sets, says Nara. I feel a shiver run through me. For a moment I wonder if this is what we call fear. But I finally recognize this is the disappointment and rising anger. Could it be that I don't care for life? I don't think that watching years go by, still and alone, hanging on a tree and covered by pins, is what we call living, I say annoyed. You are young. You'll probably never be much older as you pursue danger. I don't expect you to understand. Narek shuts her eyes, as if she's done talking to Amira. You can't just shut the world out if you can't enjoy life the way I do and choose to be blind. I can't and won't be in your presence anymore. In a blaze of anger, I want to run off, but this tree creature cuts me off. Wait, you're gonna leave me? At least help me before you go. As I and its tree have grown together, I don't want to move anymore. But one day these pins fell from the sky, piercing through my soil, moss, and bark. They're not a part of me I enjoy. Could you at least help me remove some? Amira, still in her haze of anger, storms to the tree, not noticing the gust of wind coming out of the dark forest. The wind slams her into the pinned Narek, her bubble of life popping apart. In a blink of an eye, Narek is alone.